It was long and it was exhausting, but the Tholin Foulbeard fusion is finally over. It was a fusion and a Titan event back to back, which felt like two fusions, but I've managed to get the 5-star sword at the end of the Titan event, and my Tholin is now sitting at a 5-star champion. Now, my question is, will I actually use Tholin anywhere in the game as an in-game player? That's what this video is all about. Let's jump into it. Hey guys, SMZ here, we're back playing Raid Shadow Legends. And guys, we are going to be testing Tholin today on my account, and we're going to check if he's actually going to be useful to me anywhere in the game as an endgame player. So my build is going to be relatively endgame, but it will give you directionally. So for example, if I'm testing him out in stage 25 or stage 30 of a certain dungeon, he might be relevant to you at stage 20 or 25 if your account level is lower than mine. So directionally, the output or the result of this video might still be useful. There's a free champion that you can get by using the link in my description. That is Narma the Return, a great champion to battle the Demon Lord. And you can get her alongside other crazy good epic champions like Anax, like Uugo, and like Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. How to get these champions for free? Here's how to do it. You go into your Plarium Play and log out of your current account. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email address. Download the game and then play the tutorial, and you will find Narma sitting there chilling in your inbox, and you can get all of these crazy good epic champions as you progress through the game. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Click the link in the description and get these cool champions. So Tholin has a pretty decent kit. His damage numbers, or his damage multipliers rather, are not the best. So this is one of my griefs with Plarium. Look at it, look at his base attack, almost 1700. It's one of the highest in the game. But does he smack? No, because there's a hidden thing. So one is the base attack, then that doesn't tell you everything about a champion. Then there's also the damage multiplier, which is a huge deal. And his damage multipliers are anything but insane. So I have him built like this with almost 7k attack, which is pretty high. 312 crit damage, the 38 coming from the blessing helps in that direction a lot. Accuracy is not the highest. I'm not relying on him for the weekend. I know maybe in longer fights, it might be useful to put his A1 weekend and take an extra turn. But I've tested him out in longer fights, and at least for my account, he's not actually substituting any of my current damage dealers who are all doing very good damage compared to him in Hydra or Chimera, for example. So I'm building him in for quick dungeon runs, for example, or quick, let's say, Nightmare campaign fight, or AMAS, for example, or faction wars. So we're going to test him out on all of those categories. So I have him built in 6-piece Merciless to get that 35% ignore defense, and he should smack. I just have this on him because it was lying around. It's actually a very good rare relic. It gives you additional crit damage and a small chance to deal more damage. And then otherwise, I have him fully booked out. I am regretting that decision, to be honest, because so far I haven't been impressed, but I also haven't tested him out significantly, which I am planning to do in this video. I have him built obviously in Helm Smasher as the tier 6 mastery to do more damage. So how will he fare? Let's get into it. So let's start off with campaign. My first question is, can he farm Nightmare campaign 12-6, which is the most efficient stage to farm for energy if you can do it fast. Otherwise, you should stick to Brutal 12-6 or Brutal 12-3. So let's see if he can do, this is Brutal, sorry, Nightmare. Let's jump into Nightmare and let's take him into battle. Now, this is a double-edged sword, right? So the cool thing is that most of the champions who he's going to be fighting against are going to be Demon Spawn. And if you look at his kit, he does a lot more damage to Demon Spawn. He takes less damage from Demon Spawn. Demon Spawn champions cannot, or Corrupted Alliance basically cannot land a crit on this champion. So a lot of that stuff is happening. These waves have exclusively Demon Spawn champions, which is a great thing. But a lot of them, or almost all of them, have Spirit Affinity, which he's weak to, so he's gonna be weak hitting. So let's see if he can do it. I think his AI also prioritizes its A2, which, oh, here he prioritizes A3. Okay, one smack onto wave 2. That was a refresh. That was amazing. And he kills with the A2. Wow, I'm impressed. He left a little bit over there, but I'm impressed. I have him on Crushing Rend. I know Crushing Rend is not ideal for 5-star, but again, my aim is that he's going to be hitting once or twice. So 5-star Rend allows you to hit two times, and if he can kill waves that fast on 2 hits, that's great. Let's run it one more time very quickly just to see if there was nothing super lucky. Okay, that time Again, because of the weak affinity against Spirit, he did not kill them off. Weak hits are such a pain, especially in those faction war stages. But he's hitting incredibly hard, and he's killing them even with weak affinity pretty nicely. So that's good. That's number one check. So I can sub him in. He's not my fastest. My fastest is my Thor or my Kaimar, for example. But he does the job pretty well. Let's go into the dungeons. So first off, it's not a good affinity today to test, but let's see. We'll consider non-weak hits. So my current team right now is this team right here. I'll try to sub him in instead of my second Newt, see what he does, and this is again a bad affinity for him, but we'll check the damage and we'll see when he doesn't weak hit. He hits twice with his A2, and that's what he's going to prioritize, I'm pretty sure, by default. That's measly damage. He needs debuffs. That's measly damage. Yeah, no. He's not coming into this team. I'm sorry. So the thing is that max HP hitters are going to do more damage to the bosses. That's what they build for. So I am going to also test him out on the waves. That's where I'm hoping he's going to do more damage. But he's definitely not coming into this team for sure. Let me take them out before this should be the team, and Note needs to prioritize his Blessed Bash. So let's go into the next one. He's not going to be doing this dungeon, that's for sure. I'm going to skip over the potion keeps. We can take a quick look at Minnow instead of my Marius, who does the job very quickly. Who am I supposed to... Let's just take a random food champion just to do one run. I know he can solo Minnow. Anybody with decent gear can solo Minnow. The point is how fast. Marius does it in 6 to 8 seconds. He's definitely not doing it in 6 to 8 seconds. Let's see if he can do it around 12-15 seconds. That will be the next target. There he smacks a bit more because Minnow's defense is nothing basically. 16 seconds. Okay, 16 seconds basically. Not the fastest, but if you're lacking a good Minnow farmer, then he is gonna be the one for you. He hits hard on the waves. For sure with that rend. So let's take him now into the event. Now for the event dungeon, first I'm going to test him out on stage 20, and this is a team that I have been testing him out. The only thing I did was to prioritize A3. The only reason I have presets, just these 3 champions. And let's see, into this fight we go in with Mithrala's Hex, Lydia's defense down and weaken. A3 kills everybody but one champion, and that's probably due to the weak affinity. That's fine. My Lydia is also built for damage. Okay, that was a good chunky hit, 200k. It's still not the damage cap number, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I might be wrong over there, but okay, he can do stage 20. That's good. That's good. All right, so for stage 30, I have this particular team that I have used to do the coalition event, where you had to use it's an iterative version of the other team that I've put out a video for, which works 100%, which has Geo, and Geo is the reason that's 100%, because no matter what goes wrong, Geo can solo the boss one-on-one. But this particular team is obviously not 100%. I just had the team to do that mission, and yes, it does fail, but hopefully in this run when I showcase you, and I'm going to showcase that off auto, hopefully everything goes smoothly and I can showcase exactly how I would want this team to run. With the defense down weakened, Marius will smack everybody but Volcanos. Now we'll use his A2 on the boss, which actually can, or has the potential rather, to go through the damage caps. For example, Note hits for 234, that's the damage cap. And now what we are aiming for is boss took the first turn, which she removes the debuffs and everything, puts the shield on, but we want the boss to take the second turn and put unkillable on Volcanos, because we do not want Volcanos to die just yet. So with that said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the block buffs on the boss as well. I'm just gonna A1 for now, because again, as I said, I don't want him to die just yet. Hopefully Volcanos goes after one of the other champions and not Marius or Tholin. There's the unkillable up, and now here's the interesting thing. So we'll put defense down, weaken once more. Okay, he goes after her, that's fine. Now at this stage, ideally my A2 should have been back, but because it's not, I'm gonna self buff and I'm gonna hope that I do not remove the unkillable. If your Marius is built with lower accuracy, that works fine, but in this case Slayer procced, so it was completely fine. But normally if my A2 was back, I would hit that and hopefully not strip the unkillable, so not to kill him just yet, and then finish him off, for example, with Newt's Soul Reap, or if Tholin was alive, with Tholin's A3 or A1 even. So this is a team that works. As I said, it's not 100% at all, but this does the job. So that's the event dungeon. Let's take him into Ice Golem, for example. For Ice Golem, this is my current team. This is a team that I put out a video for in January, I believe. And I think by now a lot of people are using this team, which makes me very happy, to be honest. But here, I could substitute him in place of the secondary nuker. In this case, that was Carnage. Let's try it without presets or without modifying the presets. So how this team works is essentially Marius will nuke the first wave. Hopefully, there he goes. I should have used the presets because there I should have had him use his A2 because it's kind of the reverse order. Here the A3 would have been nicer, but it doesn't really matter because Marius kills everything. So we put the burn on. No. Something's wrong. I think I played around with gear and Maneater is missing his boots.
A few moments later.
Alright, so let's jump into the run. I've put on the boots for Maneater that he was missing. Let's go again and this should work. Alright, so as we said, Marius will nuke the first wave. Hopefully nothing is left. I should have tweaked the preset, but didn't need it because Marius did smack through the wave by himself. On the second run, he'll just A1, try to save his A2, and then there comes Tholin, and there's the burn, unkillable up, and Marius will nuke. The boss hits, we take the damage. Geomancer is basically killing the boss with the retaliation hits, and now they're the two tickles from Tholin. Alright, so this team works. It's a great team. I love this team. But Tholin, to be honest, he did this less damage than Geomancer, which is, and even less or close to, not less, but close to Kaimar, which is not the best. So I don't think he's gonna be coming in place of Carnage in this particular team. Spider, nobody farms Spider these days. I'm not even gonna showcase that because the accessories that you got from other places are just worth it. I've not farmed Spider in a long time. Let's check Dragon hard mode. So normally I just run Marius, but let's bring him in. Sometimes I put in one assurance or insurance champion basically to make sure that if in case for some reason Marius dies, the champion takes over. So let's see if Tholin can be that champion. That's what I'm going after. So Marius should clear the waves very easily. There's the second wave. He hits. Nothing even close to what Marius can do, but of course not many champion can. There are the two tickles. Also he doesn't have his increased attack. Now he does, but even with that, he's not even hitting 100k, so many extra turns. His A2 hits hard because of the ignore defense effect that he has in there, but again, he's doing nothing compared to what Marius is doing. And we will see that in the end of the fight with the damage numbers. And what are the numbers? He still does 1.6 million, okay? That's something. But okay, I'm not gonna be using him over here anyhow. I'm not going to test him on Fire Knight because he doesn't have enough multi-hit skills to warrant him over there. With Sand Devil, let's test him out. So my usual team is I have two Newts instead of one Newt. I'm going to sub him in, see if he can do anywhere close to the damage that Newts can. My hypothesis is that he cannot. The 3 debuffs from Dark Gale help with doing damage. And now I'll go with his A2 because that's the one that has ignore defense. 76 and 75 compared to Newt's 300 each. Alright, so I don't think he's coming into this team either, and because of that I might be failing this run, to be honest. Will I actually? Boom. No, yeah, I'm okay. He's not coming into this team. Newt is gonna stay in. He doesn't compare to that. What can he do on Phantom Shogun? So my current team, again, I use 2 Newts instead of 1 Newt. I'm gonna sub him in, see what he can do. Okay, so we have Marius starting out. My what's on Visix is my crit damage tank over here, and let's see his damage. 188, 222k, not the highest compared to 294 per hit from Node, so not even close to the max HP cap. So yeah, don't think he's coming here either. So with dungeons, he's not going to be helping out significantly. Let's go to Faction Wars. This is interesting, guys. Before Faction Wars hard was a thing, we used to say, oh, this is just a Faction Wars champion, you know, or 2 champions who were just useless everywhere else. That has changed now. If you say someone is a Faction Wars champion, that champion needs to be really good because Faction Wars is difficult. So for me, I have in Dwarves a lot of champions who kill bosses fast, like Geomancer, like Newt, like Acrasia, for example. I do not have champions which can kill the waves fast. For example, Trunda, I don't have. So if I don't have Trunda, is he actually gonna help me out instead of her? That's what I wanted to check. And this is my first time checking this as well because Dwarves, it rotates, right? This is the first time that Dwarves have come on for a while from the time that I have gotten his 5-star soul. So let's see if he can smack. I mean, I do have Morak, for example, that I use. She hits quite hard, as well as, what's the other girl's name? The Gala. Gala hits hard as well. But let's see if he can smack. Of course, I don't have a turn meter booster. Let's provoke them. Can you finally take a turn, please? Geomancer's taking 2 turns. Okay, I'll start off with his A3, because actually he does have the increased attack on. Let's still go with the A3. None of them are demons or from the Corrupted Alliance, right? This does... Actually, this one does nothing to them. So let's see the damage. Boom, boom. Okay, that was good damage. Okay, I think we found his calling. And his calling is Faction Wars hard mode. He's gonna be hitting hard over here. I mean, that would have been very difficult for me normally with any other kind of team. So that was actually very good damage. And I'll just A1 there. He actually even got his ability back. What is the third 3 stats? 75%. Okay, who I'm gonna steal from? I'm gonna steal from you. Marius I can't steal from, otherwise I would have gone after Marius. That's the A1. He killed them so fast that she wasn't able to get back to her provoke. I of course lost the 3-star ability and he's dead. Okay, I'll tweak around this team and I will build other champions. But the thing is that he smacks hard. Let's take him back to this particular stage, for example. I also want to see how hard he hits on the boss. I've not reached the 21 boss yet, so we know that on the waves he is hopefully he's gonna smack once again as he did the last time. Of course, Supreme Kale, you're gonna be annoying. Wow, that was good, guys. That was really good. I'm impressed over here. Okay, so he is a Faction Wars champion for me, I guess, but that's not degrading at all because I genuinely lack good wave damage dealers when it comes to Faction Wars. So he's actually gonna be pretty decent. Everybody's got getting control because why not? Again, I just threw in 4 champions without thinking. I probably not the right team to bring here anyhow, but I just want to get to the boss. He's sleeping. Why is he sleeping? That's probably because of Seer, right? Seer used her nuke. A1. He kills with the A1. Wow. Okay, which okay, my Siri was triggered over there because I don't know why. So this is the one in which he removes buffs. He puts out a lot of poisons. Okay, that's the boss. Provokes on the boss doesn't really matter. We'll go in with Geomancer, try to decrease his defense. That's another thing that not Geomancer, Newt. That Newt does. Let's go with this. There's block damage. That's why. Okay. He's as usual. He's not gonna do that much anyways. I think on the boss. I think I have to kill the ads first anyhow because otherwise they are annoying. They're gonna again put the block damage, I believe. Okay, the one that puts blocks damage, I was able to temporarily. So one of the best ways to kill these ads, by the way, is to put this on. And then whatever damage the boss does goes to them. Did you see that? He took like more than half the health of that ad over there, which is actually pretty nice. Pretty nice. All right, so I just want him to hit the boss once. Is that too much to ask for? Can you not put block damage just once? Just once. I should have gone after her first. To be honest, yeah, there's the block damage once again. Maybe Geomancer can remove it. The boss takes a turn. Wonderful. Then the block damage should go away. Perfect. Okay, let's see the damage on the boss. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. All right, so I think he's going to be decent on Faction Wars hard mode, which is great news for me. So he's going to be useful over here. Where else can I test him? On clan bosses, I've already talked about longer fights. He is good. If you're lacking other good damage leaders, for me, he's not... I've tested this on longer fights. He's not doing enough damage to justify replacing one of my current nukers in there. And that's also why I have him in the 5-star rend, because 5-star rend does not make sense in longer fights. Let's finally look at Amius because I saw that he's available. So this is my current team that I used and it's a very fast team. I cleared Amius in 18 turns, as you can see, one of the fastest runs. Let's bring him in instead of... Who do I bring him instead of? Instead of the second note. Let's try that. My hypothesis is what we've seen. On waves, he's decent. Against bosses, not that great. So let's see if that holds up. And Crazia hits for 210. That's the damage cap. Is he going to heal first? Probably he's going to heal first because I'm doing damage. So let's just go with the ally attack. And I just want him to take... Okay, let's go in with this ability. 222, 274. That's actually pretty good because Newt's capped at 203. Okay. That's good. That means that he is actually a very decent option on Amius as well when he's available in this particular setup. So not bad at all. Of course, with his A2, he's hitting harder than his A3 because that has the ignore defense effect, but that's fine. A lot of champions are known for their one ability. And if he's known for that, That's not an issue. Should I run to the finish of the fight? Probably doesn't make sense. That's fine. But he can do a lot of damage. I'll have to build the team a little bit around him in order to do it if I do want to use him. But if you are lacking decent damage dealers on Amius, he's going to be very useful because he's hitting incredibly hard. So that is, I think, in Arena, he's not going to be the best champion, to be honest, because he's very conditional when it comes to different factions. He can still be decent in many places. So with that said, that is gonna be it, guys. So again, this is my Tholin build, 6-piece Merciless. These are the total stats right here. We have this relic, the rare relic, which does good job, 5-star rend, so it allows him to smack on the first 2 hits each round, which is nice. And finally, these are the masteries. So my overall assessment is that, was it worth it going for all that? I'm not sure it was worth it for going for the 5-star soul. Probably it was. He's not going to be helpful for me as an endgame account in anywhere except Faction Wars Hard, but that except is a big except, because that is one area where I was really lacking damage. If you don't have Trunda, you are lacking in a very good nukers when it comes to clear. For bosses, dwarves have a lot of champions. For waves, they do not. So he's going to be very useful over there. Let me know how you are planning to build him, how you are using him currently. If there's anything that I missed or you showed it incorrectly, let me know in the comments. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching till the end, and see you next time.